It seemed to start as a simple cold. Then authorities thought perhaps it was a standard flu. It wasn't long before it was clear that the world was dealing with something much, much worse. Countries tried denying entry, mandating shutdowns, and limiting travel. But it continued to spread. It spread to every corner of the globe, and it started mutating. Governments tried everything they could as thousands upon thousands were dying. Civil unrest began to spread. Now, almost 2 years into the pandemic, as the bodies are piling up, the worst has happened.
Welcome back to another 31 Days of Horror Toronto After Dark edition. Yes, watched another movie from the online version of the festival this year, and I will say this one caught me off guard a little bit. I don't normally watch the trailers or read the synopsises or anything like that to the movies for the festival. Now, because this was online and because, Leslie was trying to decide if, she wanted to watch, what she wanted to watch, etc. That the synopsises and stuff would be up on screen, and of course I'm there, I'm going to read them. And maybe she'll play a trailer, and of course I'm going to see it. But I got the wrong impression about this movie. And the movie I'm talking about is the second movie of the film festival called Alien on Stage from 2020. Ran just under an hour and a half long. It is from the UK. It is a British film. And I thought this was essentially a filmed version of a theatrical play. So I don't know if there's a few of them, other ones out there, and obviously there are video productions of actual theatrical plays where the whatever theater has put out a video that shows them putting on such and such a performance, and I thought it was kind of that. Like there was these filmmakers who found out about this particular play going on, so they went down and, perhaps over multiple showings of the video, they shot different camera angles and such, and put it together to do a movie version of this play. That's what I thought I was going to be watching, and I was like, okay, whatever, it is what it is. And Leslie's not big into theater, and I think we read that it was it was a musical, so she was like, and she's definitely not into musicals, so she, was not interested. So I watched this one on my own. And I was kind of right and kind of wrong. So this is a documentary about a stage production of the film Alien. Right? The Ridley Scott movie. And this is put on by a bunch of bus drivers. I guess are they all bus drivers? I think, well, mostly bus drivers, but it's the transportation people, right? And apparently they had done another play, or I don't, what's that? They've been doing this for a while. I don't know, but the filmmakers got word that they had done this play and that they are doing a new play, and that it is Alien, and they immediately said, this is different. We got to get in on this. So this is actually the documentary about the making of the play. They got there really, 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 really early in terms of the, you know, putting the play together. And so, yeah, there's a lot of interview footage with the, you know, people involved in making the play. There is, you know, going through all the process and all the basically everything they had to go through to put on this little theatrical production, you know, this what do you call off Broadway? You know, it's in the UK, so it's very much off Broadway. It's in a different country, but you know what I'm saying. This is a very, very how would you put it? It's amateur theater. The equivalent of like low budget or no budget movies in theatrical, you know, world. I don't know. I'm not a big theater person, so I'm not really big on the lingo there. But yeah, it's essentially community theater, I guess is how you would say it. And so it's essentially an amateur acting troupe made up of British bus drivers who challenged themselves to do a production of Ridley Scott's Alien. Yeah, and I guess it's a West End London theater where they do it. And yeah, the filmmakers essentially got a hold of it and started making this documentary about it, which it is what it is. So the filmmakers, we've got both our first-time directors, which is really odd. Like, I'm so surprised by this. We've got first-time directors making a documentary about this, and we're getting it in a film festival. Like, this is this is one thing I love about film festivals, because there's a good likelihood this will never be available anywhere, right? It may never be streaming. You may be able to maybe find it on a UK release, possibly, but yeah, it's just one of those things, man. But we got Lucy Harvey and Danielle Kummer. Or Cummer, I don't know. And yeah, that's the thing. They just essentially grab some camera gear and such and go out and say, hey, we'd love to make a documentary about what you're doing here. Are you willing? And they all went, yeah, sure. So in terms of stars of the film, we will go through, essentially it's the main cast of the play. We've got Jason Hill as Captain Dallas, Lydia Hayward as Ripley, Jackie Rowe as Science Officer Ash. We've got Susan Baird as Ash's stunt double. Yes, that is a pretty high on the credit roll for a stunt double. I guess with reason. You have to watch the movie. We've got Carolyn White as Lambert. We've got John Elliott as Brett, Mike Rustici as Parker, and Scott Douglas as Kane, as well as the Xenomorph. Yes, he plays two roles. They actually have an alien in this Alien play. Then we got Penny Thorne as the voice of Mother. Yes, Mother's got to have a voice, remember? And then finally we got Dave Mitchell as the director. And it's funny to see everything that goes into this. You know, how do they pull off, like, I mean, you've seen Alien, right? How do they pull off the chest burster, and how do they, you know, like the props and all this kind of stuff? Because remember, this is no budget, right? Like, this is the lowest of the low budget community type theater type stuff being put on here. So don't expect $1 million backdrops and all this kind of stuff and lighting and all, you know, no, it's these are people making stuff out of, you know, cardboard and plywood and you know, whatever they can find to be able to pull it off. And yeah, It's just, you know, their backstories and how they get into it, you know, like how it all started, all that kind of stuff. And it is a very cute film, and I wouldn't have known about this phenomenon had it not been for this film shown at the festival. So, like, kudos to that. I you know, big props for showing it. My biggest problem with the film, I mean, technically all that kind of stuff is fine, but I kind of really wanted to see the full play. And don't get me wrong, they do show aspects and scenes from the play itself. Excuse me. Oh. And, you know, at the end of the movie, you do see a lot more, but you don't see the full play itself. And maybe maybe it did get a Blu-ray or DVD or something release. If that is the case, hopefully the full play is on there. Because, yeah, that would be my biggest gripe, is I didn't get to see the play in its entirety. I got to see how they, you know, the making of the play, but I mean, I get an idea of how it turned out, but I didn't get to see the full how it turned out, which is, you know, where's the payoff? I need the payoff. Didn't get the payoff. So if I had to rate this one out of 5, I would give it a 3 out of 5. It's not necessarily a recommend, but if you are at all a fan of Alien the movie, or you know, plays and theatrical productions, I would put this in the recommend category, because this is definitely quirky, something that might be interesting to you, unless of course it doesn't sound interesting, in which case it doesn't make a difference. But I think it would be something more akin to what you are into, than, you know, just straight sci-fi horror action, blah 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 blah. It's different, right? Like you don't often get things like that. And the whole idea, I mean, yes, there are people out there who do, you know, film or play theatrical adaptations of film and books and stuff like that, right? You got Evil Dead the musical and Dracula the musical, etc., etc. So yeah, I mean, there are those things out there, and some of them have crazy followings, right? And I mean, I kind of am upset that I missed Dracula the musical. Maybe another time. It's possible it'll be somewhere local again. But yeah, I don't know. It isn't my biggest draw. It isn't my wheelhouse. But at the same time, because of the subject matter, because of the story they were doing, it is something that I was, even coming out of it, was intrigued and interested in, and pleased to have watched. So there you go. That is Alien on Stage from 2020. Yeah, I don't know if you'll ever be able to see this movie about this play, but if you see it somewhere, give it a shot. Check it out. I mean, you can always, turn it off or something like that. I wouldn't necessarily say, if there's only a way to see it if the only way to see it is via like Blu-ray or DVD, to go out and buy it necessarily. But, if it happens to, you be surfing through your streaming services and go, hey, what is this Alien on Stage thing here? What is that? Well, now you know what it is, and hey, give it a watch. Maybe you'll like it. But you could always turn it off if you don't. Anyways, more 31 Days of Horror to come, and more Toronto After Dark. Till next video, take care. Have a good one.